Oh, hey. Didn't see you there. Name's Epigen. Welcome to the new season. Arc 3.0 is out. There's pirates. There's Fortnite. Wait, Fortnite? What the fuck? That's better. Anyways, the new season has come out, and Arc 3.0 is here, which means new builds. However, I want to go back and see if my Arc 2.0 builds hit just as hard as it is now in its 3.0 version. So, without further ado, let's get started. Now, the subclass might have gotten changed a bit, but the mods are still the same, and if you watched my previous build videos, this will look familiar to the 3.0 build that I've made before, because it has the same exact mod setup. But I'm still going to go through it, just in case for you new builds out there. So, for the helmet, I'm going to be using Crown of Tempest, which will increase all my ability regenerations from my grenade to my melee to my ability, so I always have uptime on that, which would happen when I use an arc ability or when I jolt somebody. And for the mods that I'm using, I'm going to be using 1 Ashes to Assets and an Elemental Charge. For my gauntlets, I'm going to have on 1 Impact Induction and 1 Bountiful Wells. For my chest piece, I am going to be using Heavy Handed, and currently, I don't know if it's free for everyone, but I know if you have the season pass for this season, if you go to the helm right now, you can pick up Heavy Handed that will be obtainable on the class item of whatever class you are. So there's no excuses to not get this mod now. So, and now moving on, we have our boots, which I'm going to be using Elemental Ordnance here for. I would probably recommend Better Already or any seasonal mod here, just in case you want a bit of sustainability and I want to change out Ashes for like Harmonic Siphon or Arc Siphon or something like that. And now moving on to our bond, I have on 1 Bomber and 1 Melee Wallmaker. And now moving on to the subclass, for our super, we're going to be using Storm Trance. For our melee, we're going to be using Chain Lightning, and while amplified, we get an additional set of chains, to chain off of each other. Up next, we have Arc Bolt Grenades out of, once again, the slew of grenades we can use. If you want to proc Risk Runner, Storm Grenade is what I recommend, or Pulse Grenade, but I use Arc Grenade because it's just easy. Onto the aspects, we have Electrostatic Mind, where I defeat targets with arc abilities, or defeating jolted or blinded targets will create an Ionic Trace for me. I'll always be getting Ionic Traces, so I always have that uptime. Then we have Arc Souls, just to give me a bit of extra firepower when I'm healing. For fragments, we have Spark of Discharge. Arc weapons will also have a chance to create an Ionic Trace, just a little handy for me. For the next one is Spark of Frequency. Melee hits increase your reload speed. I'm not a big fan of this. I have it on just because I like having it on, but I would definitely switch this out for Spark of Amplitude, and then Better Already would be a perk that I would use with it. Hopefully it spawns it for me as well, and I can have the synergy. Up next, we have Spark of Shock, just so that my arc grenades can jolt targets now and chain off of other enemies. And that's basically how Top Tree is, so I'm going to be using it for it. And then we have Spark of Recharge, where while critically wounded, your melee and grenade energy regenerates more quickly. This stacks on top of your Crown of Tempest, so you would regenerate your energy even more with your grenades and melees. So it's really helpful for that. Now moving on to some gameplay, which you're seeing is Arc 2.0 gameplay before the release of Arc 3.0. And the mods are going to be the same for all the gameplay that you're going to be seeing in this video. And now the build was really good, and and still is really good, but the uptime for your abilities in Arc 2.0 were lacking for the most part. Chaining wasn't the best for Top Tree at the time, and Arc Bolt is just not the way to go when it was in terms of Arc 2.0. Storm or Pulse Grenades are your best options, but that was still iffy if it would chain or not. So your super had to make up for both the chaining and just Adger in general to make up for that other half of the neutral game. And then I have to use a weapon with Demolitionist in order to put it all together, to get my grenade, to go back into my melee. It worked really good with Crown of Tempest, and it was putting in work to make this build be from being alright to really good. So now, looking at the Arc 3.0 gameplay, most of the flaws that I just talked about for our neutral game in Arc 2.0 from Arc 2.0 has been fixed for most of it. From the chaining to the constant uptime in our abilities to always have it up, and our ability to now cast Landfall and be able to blink in our super as well at the same time. And so this is what makes Arc 3.0 really good, and the Ionic Traces also really carry what you can do with your ability uptime now. So, my final thoughts about the build. It's now better than ever. Bungie really did a great job keeping what made this Warlock tree good, and now be even greater. And I'm really happy that this build survived, and I'm glad I can show it off to y'all. But that's enough talking from me. Enjoy the rest of the video and the gameplay, and have a great day.